If you want to spawn game objects by tapping on the screen in Unity, this tutorial is for you. The first thing I want to show you is how to make the gravity 0, since this project is a top-down shooter. When I try to spawn the bullets in the up direction, they will fall down after some time. This is because of the gravity. However, this is not a correct way how the game objects should be spawned in a top-down shooting game. Let's see how to fix it and make the gravity 0. First of all, there are two ways to fix this issue. The first way is by going to the project settings and disabling gravity under physics, especially if the entire project will be a 2D top-down shooter. The second way is by modifying the player script. You should go to your player's C# script. Before the line that says RB2D add force, you should simply add a line that says RB2D.GravityScale equals 0. This line means the gravity of the rigid body will be 0 and all the objects that are generated with that rigid body won't be falling down because of the 0 gravity. You also need to change physics to physics 2D in the next line. The reason why you need to include physics 2D.gravity is because add force cannot implicitly convert quaternion to float, and it needs to have something like gravity, because without that value the script wouldn't be complete. So save the script and go back to Unity. Try to set a smaller value and test the project. When you try to click on the screen, your bullet objects won't be falling down because the gravity is now disabled. Let me show you some bonus tips how to make this project work on a mobile device by tapping on the screen. If you want to test this project on your smartphone, you have to go to the Input Actions asset in the Input folder. You need to add a binding for the primary touch position, touch screen, in the Look action. Now you can save your Input Actions asset and try to play it. Due to some technical issues, I won't be able to use my smartphone for testing. So instead, I will use the device simulator to test this project. If you encounter this issue in which the player is being rotated to the wrong direction, you need to go back to the C# script and add an invoke, which will call the function that will spawn the game objects after some time, for example 1 second. But if 1 second is too much, you can set a half second or a lower value. This solution will save a lot of time, so let's save the script and test it again. I'm sorry I couldn't test it on my smartphone, so I'm using the device simulator instead. As you can see in the simulator, the game works fine. In order to make the things more practical for this project, I have also added some collision walls that are about to destroy the bullets when they are out of the viewport. So I have added a new tag, collision wall. I also had to put a script in the bullet object, and inside that script there is void onTriggerEnter2D. The if statement if other gameObject tag equals collision wall will destroy every object that collides with the collision wall object. So this is a cool solution because, as you can see on the top left corner, the bullets that touch the collision wall objects are now destroyed, and it saves a lot of memory. This will make your game work much faster. This project still needs to add some more features and make the functionality much better on both PC and mobile devices. Now it's time for the bonus part. First of all, I don't like because the wall collider isn't responsive and makes the bullets suddenly disappear on a device with a different aspect ratio. This happens on some screens, for example this device, as you can see. The bullets that go to the corners suddenly disappear, so I don't recommend you to use that. wall collider. Let's disable the wall colliders and go back to the script. Just add void update, and in the void update you have to add destroy. It destroys the game object, but to destroy it after some specific time, add a time like 3f, which is 3 seconds. Now save the script and test it again. The bullets will be destroyed after 3 seconds, but you can increase the time in the script if for some reason the bullets move slowly and are destroyed before going out of the screen. In order to make the game slightly better in performance, I removed the if ctx cancelled line of the code. It didn't do anything to my project, so you only need to remember that in the input actions asset, you need to add the primary touch position, which is the way how to detect a touchscreen tap every time you tap the screen in Unity. Another useful thing is to add the scaling animation of the bullets, because if you don't like those bullets disappearing after some time, a better solution would be to add an animation that will scale the bullets to 0. This might fit perfectly if you add some longer animation, but if you try with this animation like 1 second, it will immediately fade out. So my recommendation is to set your animation play after 2 seconds, but make sure to add a keyframe on the first frame. Now, when I try to play, I can see that after 2 seconds it begins scaling to 0. If you find this feature better than just destroying the bullet, you can keep it and make the bullets scale instead of being destroyed. But I would recommend you to keep both, just to destroy in order to keep the bullets being destroyed from the scene. The experience is now much better, but it is still missing some features like particle effects, enemies, and score system. It will be also useful to improve the performance of the game and add smoother animations. All these things will be part of the future videos. If you need help with your indie game project, feel free to send me a DM on Instagram. I can help you fix any kind of problem. So, if you want more tutorials for game development, consider subscribing. I will make more tutorials in the future. Have a good day.